Okay, we should begin any moment now. We're just waiting on a fix on the live feed. Yeah, because this is all being recorded.
If everyone's in agreement, it's fine with you all, can we open up with word of prayer? We'd love to do that while we're waiting.
Absolutely.
Is that okay with everyone?
Yes. Anybody wanna?
Yeah. Our most kind and gracious Heavenly Father God, we thank you for this day and what you've given us, Lord. We thank you for all that you do for us, all that you provide for us, Lord. We thank you for our town and what it means to us, Lord. We thank you for each citizen that's here tonight, Lord, that they show interest in our community as well, too. We pray that we would be civil tonight, that we would explain our takes on our town, our passions about our town. We also ask you, Lord, to be with the communities that are around us that have been devastated by the storms. We pray that you will continue helping the volunteers, helping the people that's rescuing. Bless each person that has given, Lord, and had a part in the recoveries, the missions that they've went out dropping and doing the deliveries. We thank you once again for each person here tonight. We ask you to bless them. We thank you for each candidate that wants to give to the community. Thank you for each person that's involved. And we ask this in Jesus' name. Amen. Amen.
We good to go? All right, good evening, everyone, and welcome to the Candidate Debate Forum for Mayoral Candidates for the great town of White Pine. I would like to extend a warm welcome and thank you to both candidates and to the audience here tonight. I'd like to thank both Mayor Fred Taylor and Mayor Glen Warren for agreeing to this forum tonight. I think it's going to be a benefit to all of the residents of White Pine. I would also like to thank the members of the community who took the time to submit the questions that I will ask each of the candidates tonight. My name is DJ Deeb, and I am an assistant professor of history and political science at Walter State Community College. I was asked to facilitate and moderate the forum this evening as I do not live in the town. I live out in Sevier County. I want to begin by taking this opportunity to review the rules and the format for tonight's debate. The format for the debate is as follows. There will be an introduction and format overview given by the moderator. That's what I'm doing right now. Then there will be opening statements that will be afforded to each of the candidates, and they will have 2 minutes to speak. The order was determined by a lot draw earlier this evening. Then questions will be posed to each candidate from the moderator that were received by members of the community by email. Each candidate will have 1 minute to respond, and I will rotate the order of the questions and asking them. Each candidate will then have the opportunity to pose up to 2 questions to each other in rotation. There will be 1 minute per candidate to respond. Finally, closing statements of 2 minutes will be allotted to each candidate. The order was determined by a lot draw earlier this evening. After closing statements, I will review the voting information and wrap up the forum. There will be an Alderman Council forum after this one. The rules for the debate forum are as follows. By attending this evening, all candidates participating in this forum agree to the rules and the format of the debate, which were made available to each of them in advance and published on the town website. Candidates agree to refrain from personal attacks on each other. The moderator reserves the right to cut off candidates from speaking if this happens. The moderator will ask each of the candidates the same questions from the community, and those questions are not known to the candidates in advance of the forum. The only one that has access to the questions is myself. Questions from the audience that were not submitted ahead of time will not be entertained this evening. Members of the audience agree to refrain from applause until the end of the forum in order to give each candidate sufficient time to respond to audience questions. If any member of the audience is unruly, he or she will be asked to leave the forum debate. The moderator at his discretion can permit candidates to respond to statements made by other candidates if appropriate. These responses, if awarded, will be for 30 seconds at a time. We can agree to disagree, but let us remember that the people on this stage are members of the community who are taking time away from their families and other obligations to devote and serve their community. So let's be respectful, and judging from this audience, you will be. So I thank you all again for coming this evening. And now we will begin with opening statements that was determined by a lot draw earlier this evening. So I'll begin with Mayor Glen Warren. You have the floor, Mayor.
Thank you, Professor Dean, and thank you for agreeing to moderate this. We appreciate you coming and doing this in your time. And thank you to each citizen that's came out tonight as well too, so you can get an informed view on myself and Mayor Taylor's take on the town and what we see in the perspective of it. I would like to say I enjoyed serving the town here. I was fire chief here for 4 years. I worked for the town for 5 years. I worked in the water department. I was hired to do the GIS mapping for the water department and stuff. So I've done that, and then my last time here was I was the recreation director. So I enjoyed all of my time, and I enjoyed working with the citizens of White Pine with my duties of that. I also enjoyed serving as alderman for 2 years, and then enjoyed being the mayor for the town for 4 years. I think we was able to accomplish quite a bit through the board of mayor and alderman. We've seen growth at Exit 4 with the new school, the Waggles, and the Taco Bell during that time. We was also able to make relationships with several people. I was able to serve on the Jefferson Alliance Group. I was the chairman of that board. We was able to get to talk with Roger Minott. Of course, Ann Strawman worked a long time with that, and we was able to see Jefferson Park at White Pine come in during that time as well too. So looking forward to serving. I did not seek a second re-election. My father was going through some health problems at the time, and I wanted to be there to help him and be with my family. So, but I am looking forward to getting back and serving as mayor of the town of White Pine.
Thank you, Mayor. Okay, Mayor Fred Taylor, floor is yours for opening statements.
Thank you. Good evening, everyone. I want to thank Mr. D for holding the debate, and also thank everyone for coming out here tonight. Of course, you may know me. I'm the current mayor, Fred Taylor. I was born and raised here in White Pine. I was born at Downs Clinic downtown, which no longer exists. My wife and I reside on Douglas Street. Of course, everyone knows it is where the 4th of July fireworks are. I have 2 daughters, Whitney and Megan. They're both married. One lives in Jefferson City, and one lives here in White Pine, along with my granddaughter, Nora. I'm a graduate of the leadership of Jefferson County. I served on the Jefferson County Chamber Commerce Board of Directors. I'm the recipient of the Jefferson County Chamber of Commerce Chairman's Volunteer of the Year Award. I served on the Lakeway Association of Realtors Board of Directors, volunteered over 20 years with Christmas in Jefferson County, served as chairman of Food and Toys during some of that time. I have served 22 years on the White Pine Town Council prior to being elected mayor in 2020. As you can see, I'm invested. I'm a property owner as well as a business owner here in White Pine. I'm invested in our town, proud of it, and I enjoy serving the community and our citizens of White Pine. Thank you.
Thank you, Mayor Taylor. My first question this evening comes from a member of the community. They all came from members of the community, and it goes first to Mayor Fred Taylor. And the question is, what do you feel are the two top concerns or issues facing White Pine, and what are your plans to address these issues?
Well, foremost and most important, I feel, in my opinion, is the infrastructure of the water and sewer, and I've got some detailed information on that I'll be sharing with you. And then also, I feel like we need to preserve our history and of the town. As we see, it's kind of dwindling away. The younger generation simply is not as interested as some of the others, and I'd like to see us preserve that. And we got to focus on economic development. We got several new businesses coming to town. We have an auto zone coming. We have a chain convenience store looking here in town, and we also have a Quick Trip coming to Exit 8. So we're going to see some growth. We just need to make it smart growth.
Thank you, Mayor Taylor. Same question to Mayor Warren. What do you feel are the two top issues facing White Pine, and what are your plans to address these issues?
I think our failing infrastructure is one of our top concerns, and also transparency as well too. The infrastructure, we've got to do something to take care of the situation that's down in the subdivision. On a normal day, everything flows good. It's whenever we have all the rain and stuff, there's infiltration. The manholes have settled, the pipes have settled. Sewer pipe is a French drain, so all that water goes into that. Sewer bypass is not going to take care of that down there, because the rainwater is still flowing down through that subdivision whenever it rains. We have got to fix that main line down there. Transparency is another big issue. I will make sure that council is informed. We will have an agenda. Our things will be on the agenda for people to see, so we can get out and see that. White Pine is unique. We have 2 exits. We also have a downtown, so we can grow at the exits and leave our hometown feel downtown too. Thank you.
Thank you, Mayor Warren. Okay, the next question I'm going to pose to Mayor Warren first. As you both have served one term as mayor, how did you support emergency services such as police, fire, and EMS in White Pine? And what are your future plans for these departments? Mayor Warren.
Thank you. Once again, both of us have actually served on the fire department here. I worked with EMS here as well too. I also was constable for District 3. So I'm public safety all the way as well too. I was always trying to be helpful with them. We tried to provide for them. We always try to look out. Our public safety is a big thing for our town. We have to support them. That's who comes to us whenever we call in an emergency situation, so we have to be supportive of those. Also promoted, and we was able to get some grants through the Jefferson Foundation as well too, through connections and stuff as well too. So yes, I'm all for our public safeties, and I support them 100%, and we will work with them to try to seek grants and do funding for them the best that we can. So.
Okay. Thank you. Mayor Taylor, same question. As you served at one term as mayor, how did you support emergency services such as police, fire, and EMS in White Pine? And what are your future plans for these departments?
Well, I'm highly supportive of all the emergency services as Warren quoted. We've all been on the fire department and served. I served as chief over in Tolbert at one time. One of the things in the police department, we implemented the K-9 unit that I'm very proud of. It's Rocky, and I know everyone sitting here I've got to meet Rocky before. We did implement the take-home vehicles for our officers, which has been a plus. We had a major emergency one afternoon right here in town, and we had officers that was responding from their home and having all the equipment. It really paid off on that situation. The fire department, we purchased an engine this past year. They've been doing a fundraiser for several years, and we went ahead and done that. And we also have able to put a person now on call during the weekdays and when the fire department have first responders.
All right, thank you, Mayor Taylor.
Can I say something about that as well, too?
Yes.
Okay. Mayor also served on White Pine Fire Department as well too. Mayor Taylor, he did not say that, but I do want to say that. But we also had whenever it was, I think Alderman Mayor, we also had someone on call at the fire department as well too, so.
Great. Mayor Taylor, did you want to add anything? All right, the next question will go to Mayor Taylor first. I would like to know what is being done about the water in White Pine. We are a house of 3 and hardly ever home. I wash clothes 1 day a week, but yet my water bill is $90 a month, sometimes more. We can't drink the water, so we spend another $150 on buying water to drink and cook with. So Mayor Taylor?
Yeah, I have worked with our utility supervisor. We've had numerous complaints. Everyone knows we have hard water here. I get the lime in my water heater, limes as well. He has started blowing off the lines, trying to get the lime out that's been settling during the slow period, and that has actually helped in some of the areas. I talked to one resident and they've noticed a small difference. We have some of the best water according to our labs around, but it is hard water and it is hard on the appliances, so. But it's well water. So.
Thank you, Mayor Taylor. Same question, Mayor Warren. I'll read it again. I would like to know what is being done about the water in White Pine. We are a house of 3 and hardly ever home. I wash clothes 1 day a week, but yet my water bill is $90 a month, sometimes more. We can't drink the water, so we spend another $150 on buying water to drink and cook with. Mayor Warren.
Unfortunately, water in East Tennessee is hard. The water flows through, like Mayor Taylor said, we have well water here. Actually, some of it is spring water as well too. But it flows through limestone. So limestone is what causes the pH of the water, causes the water to be so hard. It would be so massively expensive to be able to treat that at a municipality level, unfortunately. We do have actually good water here, the lines and stuff. The only thing that we have to do to our water is add chlorine to it. One of them, and the other we filter for the turbidity. As far as blowing off the water, that's a state requirement that is required yearly on all dead ends and stuff. So that is to keep the water from being stagnant on the blow-offs and stuff like that. So I know what the testing needs to be done because I've worked in that before. So, but we'll address it the best we can.
Thank you, Mayor Warren. Okay, the next question goes to Mayor Warren first. There is an old building on Main Street that's fallen down. Not only is it an eyesore, but it seems to be a danger to the community. Do you have any plans to tear it down? Mayor Warren.
Thank you. The old building, I think what they're referring to is what we all call the old hardware store here. It's just located across the railroad here on Main Street, so that's what I'm assuming they're talking about. There was plans at one time they was gonna tear off the back of it to do rebuilding. It was held up. I believe I'm correct in saying this as well too. I believe it was held up for a little bit by having to have some testing done and stuff like that to see what they had to do as far as tearing it down. They were at one time planning on trying to rebuild some of the back of it as well too. Mayor Taylor may be able to address that just a little bit more as well on that, but we will work with the property owners to see what the status is on that and where they're going to be going with it and try to assist the best we can with the property owners of getting something done. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you, Mayor Warren. Mayor Taylor, same question. There is an old building on Main Street that's falling down. Not only is it an eyesore, but it seems to be a danger to the community. Do you have any plans to tear it down?
I'm going to assume they're talking about the old hardware or the Four Seasons building, as some may remember. Initially, the owner was gonna try to save the building, take the back half off, tie the roof in. I think there's been more damage since that, and I don't know that it's gonna be able to be salvaged at this point. I turned that over to our code enforcement Chad, and he's been in communication with them. So most likely, it'll be torn down, but I don't wanna quote that because I don't know. It's between the property owner and getting it in code, so. But we are definitely working on that project with the owner.
Thank you. Next question goes to Mayor Taylor first. It's taken at least a couple of decades of neglect for the sewer system to get in such deplorable condition. Aside from adhering to the TDEC moratorium, what is your plan to replace current infrastructure to help with both sewer issues and new businesses? Mayor Taylor.
Alright, well, as far as the sewer, the consent order has really helped us on getting grant money. I was able to secure an additional $2 million from the county for their infrastructure from the ARPA. But we're in the process of completing the largest wastewater bypass line project in Jefferson County history, saving a significant amount of impact to the lines in the center of town, decreasing the overflows in residential. As Mayor Warren said earlier, we don't overflow with sewage, it's I&I. We've secured the first infrastructure planning grant in the town's history to assist in the town making a long-term capital improvement plan for water and sewer projects. And we're in the process right now of completing a large wastewater line improvement project in the center of town, both replacing and repairing outdated lines. We received approval to use grant money from other wastewater grant projects to match the particular grant, saving the town another $400,000. And I have just, as of October 4th, received approval from TDEC where we can start this project. It was going out to bid shortly, and they are 40 items listed here for repairs through the subdivision where we've counted every single foot of line, of sewer line, and we've noted all the issues. They have all been sent out, and that'll be going out to bid shortly. So very proud of that.
Thank you, Mayor Taylor. And we went a little bit over, so if Mayor Warren wants to go a little bit over in answering the question, I'll give him the same courtesy. So again, the question is, it's taken at least a couple of decades of neglect for the sewer system to get in such deplorable condition. Aside from adhering to the TDEC moratorium, what is your plan to replace current infrastructure to help with both sewer issues and new businesses? Mayor Warren.
Okay, thank you. Actually, there has been there's been sewer projects that have been going on. Let's see, when when Gary Barton was here. There was lines replaced and manholes that was replaced that had started from the sewer plant coming back up this way. Whenever I was mayor here as well too, we were doing rehabilitation. The water flows, just because it's there in the subdivision where all the impact is, does not necessarily mean that's where all the things, where all the infiltration is coming in. It also comes in back behind here. Also, there was a major spot up on the perimeter of the street where we're actually working there whenever Nathaniel was here as the Public Works Director. We were actually doing, we were in-house doing the cammering of the lines. We were also jetting. We had both of those. We could have used the money that we used, that we bid out for rehabbing on the manholes and the sewer lines as well too, because we had that stuff already in-house. We didn't have to bid that out. The sewer bypass is going to be good only for taking water around, but it's not going to fix the infiltration. We've also used water. We've got water line that's sitting out here at exit 4 that's not even being used. We moved a fire hydrant from a usable spot up into a dangerous place for our firemen to have to pull up to. And that water line does us no good whatsoever, because that is a special water district out there because of the pressurized system out there. So we can use our money more wisely, and having that experience working in those departments, I think we can accomplish a whole lot more through that, and with our grants and stuff as well too.
Okay, thank you, Mayor Warren. Next question will go to Mayor Warren first. Getting grants for parks and recreation seems to be low-hanging fruit, and it's needed for White Pine. Will you commit to getting a professional grant writer, perhaps on a commission basis, to obtain grants for parks and recreation? Mayor Warren.
Thank you. Whenever I was mayor, whenever I was Parks and Recreation Director, we was able to, as a group, as aldermen, board of mayor and aldermen, we got the grant to do the restrooms and do the lighting at and resurfacing of the walking pavilion, and also redoing the tennis courts as well too, and adding on more structures at the splash pad down there as well too. One of the last things that I've done whenever I was mayor, with the mayor and board of aldermen, we applied for the lighting grant down there as well too, and the redoing of the field as well. COVID has sort of delayed that some down there as well too, as far as bid out and things like that. But as far as getting grants, we apply for the Parks and Recreation grants each time. As far as getting a grant writer, I would not be opposed to that at all.
Okay. Thank you, Mayor Warren. Mayor Taylor. Same question, I'll read it again. Getting grants to parks and recreation seems to be low-hanging fruit that is needed for White Pine. Will you commit to getting a professional grant writer, perhaps on a commission basis, to obtain grants for parks and recreation?
Okay. As Mayor Warren did point out, we did receive that grant for the park down here. They just received it prior to me taking office, and as a matter of fact, myself and some council members, and I invited Mayor Warren, I don't think he came, but we had a check presentation. That's been 4 years ago. With COVID and all that, it's just been put on the background, I guess, but it is out there now. We have a construction meeting on the 15th, so that project, redoing the football field and lighting, ADA walkway will be happening soon. We've hired a full-time Parks and Rec director, and he has been active on looking at different grants. We've approached different ones. He's got a system on his computer that he able to see other grants. I would not be opposed to having a grant writer on a commission basis. That would just have to be something that would come up for the town, to the council members and ourselves to look at. I like to think we could get every grant coming through town. That's my goal. And I'm proud to say that we're bringing sports back to town. We have got basketball lined up this fall at the school. We've got T-ball coming in the spring, so we're making a change for our kids to have something to do here locally.
Thank you, Mayor. All right, next question will go to Mayor Taylor first, and that is, why is White Pine so well known for price gouging? It starts with Pilot having gas prices 25 cents overpriced from the next county over. Food City is notorious for outrageous prices. We are being bled dry by locals gouging prices. This is a direct reflection of leadership. Do you plan on continuing the status quo, and if not, how do you plan to address these concerns? Mayor Taylor.
Well, as mayor, you cannot control the pricing and what people charge. I wish I could. Well, the competition is what brings the prices down. And I was asked one time why diesel is so much less at exit 8 than it is at exit 4. So I did inquire about that, and it turned out that this happened to be at Waggles, but the Waggles at exit 4 is a convenience store. At exit 8 is a truck plaza. So it's two different categories, and they can have the difference in the prices. Food City is the only grocery store here in town, so there's no competition. I will say that there is a chain store looking here in White Pine. They're actually done the surveys and they've done their site plan. If that happens, it's right here in downtown. That may bring the price of gas and things down because of the competition. But I don't control that.
Thank you, Mayor Taylor. Mayor Warren, same question. Why is White Pine so well known for price gouging? It starts with Pilot having gas prices 25 cents overpriced from the next county over. Food City is notorious for outrageous prices. We are being bled dry by locals gouging prices. This is a direct reflection of leadership. Do you plan on continuing the status quo, and if not, how do you plan to address these concerns? Mayor Warren.
I'll agree with Mayor Taylor. The mayor has absolutely no control over prices and things like that. And I will add in as well too, you'll see differences in prices on gas and stuff as well too, because you've got, sometimes you'll have different places, like some of your, like if you go up towards Greenville, it's distributed from a different place. It comes from a different pipeline up towards Greenville versus where some of the distributor is out of Knoxville, out of the pipeline there. So that's where you're seeing your prices, some of your price stuff like that, and as well too the difference in your convenience versus convenience store versus truck center or something like that. So that you're going to see your differences there. I also think that Mayor Taylor would agree with me on this as well too, that I would like to put the rumor, and he would as well too, and then I'll stop on this and let him, I'm pretty sure he'll agree with me on this. There has never been a signed agreement with Food City to be the only grocery store in town. I would like to put that to rest. There's nothing like that. You can research through everything in there if you want to.
I agree 100%.
I thought that was a weird question, but it was submitted, so I had to ask. But did you want to add anything else to that, Mayor Taylor?
No, we've all dealt with that same question time and time again, and that is absolutely correct. There's no reason.
All right, and the final question that I had submitted from the community goes to Mayor Warren first. For years, stormwater has entered and flooded the city sewer lines on Sheila and Suzanne Streets, flooding the park and people's homes with any significant rain. Residents have pleaded for years for the city to remedy this situation with zero success. The new sewer bypass has no effect on stormwater, so please tell me, what is the city specifically doing to stop the massive amounts of stormwater from entering the sewer system and flooding homes? Mayor Warren?
we addressed that, a little bit earlier, but I will go back and reiterate. I think you said there was 42 spots is that what you said? That-
There's 40 on this
40
list.
40 on that list right there of things. We've got to get those fixed. The what's causing that is like I said, sewer is a French drain. Whenever your sewer pipe is laid, it's laid with gravel on the bottom, gravel on the top. So it's a French drain. Wherever the water's going, it's gonna come in. Those manholes that was set here in the 60s and some of the main lines that's there, they've settled. They've also been slip lined in the past, and where those have broke at the boot, it allows that water to go in there. One of the main things that I'm gonna see to it whenever we go through applying for the grants and getting the grants, we're gonna replace manholes, we're gonna replace the main lines, we're gonna get all that stuff fixed, we're gonna get it taken care of. We was working on that whenever I was mayor, fixing stuff up here that was going in and sealing the inside of the lines. We will continue that, we will address that. I have heard your complaints and we will take care of it.
Okay, thank you, Mayor Warren. All right, we're now gonna move to the segment of the forum where the candidates. I'm sorry, Mayor Taylor, you wanna ask?
Sorry.
On that issue, I think he was talking two different items there. He's talking about storm drainage and sewer. Let's go back just a moment on the consent order. We was on the consent order and mandated that we had to have every bit of our sewer cambered and recorded. We did not have the personnel or the proper equipment to get that done in the time frame. That's why that had to go be out. We looked at it and we asked if we could have longer time, but we denied that, so we had to move forward. That was blessing in disguise once it's all done, because we have a total look in there showing every issue with the sewer line, not just here in the subdivision, but throughout the whole area. That's what we're working on now. We have secured the grants, the money to do this project. I have worked diligently with the county, was able to get some of their ARPA money. We've got ARC money, it is here. We are now ready to send it out to bid. We have got flow meters out at this time on different manholes. And believe it or not, we just had some heavy rain a few weeks ago, and I did get the report that some of the higher water that's coming right through our town here, right in our subdivision, is coming from down toward the school in that area. The flow came up. So this has all been an asset to help us find all the correct areas. We have to send these problems to TDEC for them to approve. We had to prioritize them, and we've done that. They've come back, they've approved it, we're ready to send it out for bid. So, and the funds are already there. We have secured enough grant money to do that. And I agree, also, the bypass is not gonna solve the overflow. We was mandated to do the bypass, that was not an option, that had to be done. TDEC said that had to be done first.
Thank you, Mayor Taylor, for that follow-up. And Mayor Warren, did you want to add anything to that?
Now, as far as the storm there, the water, I think the ditches are handling the water flow now better than what they used to back in the past. Our problem with the stormwater's getting into the sewer lines, and I think that's what the people are complaining about as well too. I think we had the option I think the bypass project was already probably started being talked about. If we would have been addressing doing a major rehaul of our main lines on our sewer lines and manholes, I think TDEC would have been satisfied with that as well too, and give us the go ahead and 100% to go with that. So.
Thank you, Mayor Warren. Okay, well, we'll now move to the section of the forum where I'll permit the candidates to ask each other questions. And again, they'll have 2 minutes to respond to each other. And there'll be 2 questions each in rotation. So the first will be and it doesn't have to be 2 questions, but if you have them, I'll permit up to 2 questions. So first would be Mayor Warren. Do you have a question for Mayor Taylor? No question. Okay.
What do you think is causing the high turnover of, losing all of our town employees? What do you think is causing that? Cause we went through a whole lot of employees through our water department, and sewer department during this time. What do you attribute to the cause of that is?
Well, I agree 100%. We had some good people. We even had one employee here that the supervisor and I even went. There was a situation that they was able to not have a driver's license, and we even went through our legal and asked them if there was any way we could keep them here, and they was able to work that out. We're dedicated on trying to keep people here. However, as mayor, everyone should be accountable, and everyone turned their resignation in. I asked every one of them to stay, but they all turned their resignation in saying that they had a better job, and so other than that, that's all I can tell you, because that's what they put down there. But every one of them was asked to stay.
Yeah, and I don't disagree with you that all of them turned in their resignation as well too.
Thank you, Mayor Taylor and Mayor Warren, for asking the question. Would Mayor Taylor like to ask Mayor Warren a question?
What will you be doing different on this term as mayor than you did the last term you served as mayor?
Don't think I'll be working just as hard as I did whenever I was mayor before. Look forward to getting back and working, with aldermen and council, and being able to accomplish some of the things that, we set out to do. And, we just seemed like we kept hitting roadblocks all the time. I was questioned about everything, by the aldermen, and, it just seemed like, I hope I can have, the support of the aldermen, this time, to where we can, get stuff accomplished. I wanna have a good working relationship with them. Also, I have a good working relationship at the county level. Also have a good working relationship at the state level as well too, and I think that's very important. Whenever we're trying to get to grants and things like that, to have that, working relationship at, county and state levels.
Thank you, Mayor Warren. Mayor Warren, do you have one more question for Mayor Taylor?
A lot of people ask me this, and I say, I don't know that would be a good question to ask him. But do you think, whenever you're representing a business, while you're sitting on the planning commission, that you're representing the town as a mayor, you're sitting on the planning commission, and you state that you're representing that business while you're sitting up here and, making discussions as well? Do you not think that's a conflict of interest, and that you should recuse yourself, from being up here if you're gonna represent the business owner and step down off the podium to represent them and not have a voice, to planning commission whatsoever? And like I said, I've been posed that question by several people, so I said, it would be a good question to ask him, and I'll ask him, so.
Well, I appreciate the question. And the opportunity to explain. As some of you may or may not know, I'm a real estate broker. I've been doing it for over 20-something years, and I do have an office here in town. That's how I make my living. That's how I support my family. I was doing real estate since I was doing it before I was elected on the council, because I've been here 26 years. But I was doing real estate when I came in as mayor. I'll continue to do real estate as long as I'm able to. However, anything that I have brought to the planning commission or council, I have always addressed that up front, that I'm involved in that transaction, and I abstain from any voting.
Let's be without the comments, please, and be respectful of the
I have
candidates.
never.
Good.
Thank you, Mayor Taylor.
Okay. Can I say something, a little thing about that?
I will give you up to 30 seconds, Mayor Warren.
Robert's Rules of Order would state that you would step down from up here and you would step down there whenever you would address that. I think that's where a lot of people get the conflict at. So Robert's Rules of Order would call for you to recuse yourself from up here and you would step down there and, to address that, and you wouldn't sit up here as the planning commission. Once that subject would be addressed, then you would come back up to sit here. And he's welcome to.
Thank you, Mayor Warren. Yeah, I'll give Mayor Taylor an opportunity.
I
30
don't have a
seconds.
problem stepping down, I've always just excused myself and didn't step down.
Thank you, Mayor Taylor. And Mayor Taylor, you have an opportunity to ask one more question to Mayor Warren.
Having a question.
You don't, okay. All right, so, now we will finish up with closing statements, that were determined, the order was determined by a lot draw, which we did earlier this evening. And so, at this point, I am going to permit, Mayor Glen Warren to present his closing statement first, and Mayor Fred Taylor to present his closing statement last. So, Mayor Glen Warren, your closing statement, sir.
Thank you. Thank you also to Mayor Taylor for being civil. I think we was able to address a lot of concerns that a lot of the citizens was asking about. Also, once again, thank you, Professor D. Thank you for all the citizens for asking the questions so that we could get a general idea of what you all see. I think a lot of y'all are wanting to address the infrastructure and the problems and things going on like that. So we're going to do that. Once again, I told you there would be transparency. I'll see to that as well too. We will promote White Pine. We will promote it as the hometown that it is. We'll continue to have the hometown feel. I plan on getting stuff started back up once again. We're going to get our music started back up downtown. We're going to get our community involved. We're gonna have our game nights and things like that once again, because everybody says, when are we gonna start that back up? When are we gonna start that back up? I said, it's coming. We're gonna do that. We're gonna work hard. We're gonna get in. We're gonna hit the trail wide open whenever we go back in as mayor. I appreciate y'all's support. I've enjoyed talking to each person. If I've not seen you yet, I hope to get out to be able to see you, greet you, talk to you, and get your concerns so that we can address them. We're going to work on it. We're going to make White Pine our great little hometown. We're going to do economic development in strategic locations. Like I said, exit 4, exit 8. White Pine's great that we can grow out there and still keep our downtown hometown feel. We're going to get our downtown back up and going again. I like to see things like that. We'll work with White Pine Books and stuff. They was doing little craft shows and things like that. We'll work down with the history committee. Maybe we can even get more stuff going on down there as well too. We're gonna try to get stuff back in our downtown area as well once again. Thank you.
Thank you, Mayor Warren. And Mayor Fred Taylor, would you like to give your closing statement?
Yeah, thank you. As your current mayor, I think you can see that I have been dedicated and proud to serve the White Pine and their citizens. Some of my accomplishments in the past 4 years, and one that I'm proud of is the White Pine tree right down here. You could not even see the stone or anything, and we cleaned that up and made it look nice and presentable for people to walk by and see. You go to the senior building, they have plastic drains in front where the people are getting out of their cars tripping to go in the building. We put heavy duty drains in there, repaved the lot, we put new LED lights in and helped the seniors. We've upgraded the library with LED lights outside. But we could go on, and I think we both share the same interest. We want to do what's right for the people here in town. And we go back to this infrastructure. And I had some notes, but I'm gonna probably go away from them just for a moment. There's nobody that hates the overflows, the flooding of the houses worse than I do. I live in that subdivision, and I don't live in the flood area, but I live there, I see those people. This has been band-aided throughout time. It's never really been firmly addressed. Folks, I have worked day and evenings and nights on this project. I have begged and pleaded to get grant money. I have it in place. It does take time, but I have kept the citizens, some of them down there, very informed. They've been vocal to me. I said, you're welcome to come to my meetings. You're welcome to come to our engineering meetings. We have addressed that. We've got a plan. We're gonna move forward with this. I'm not a quitter. I'm going to remain on this and upgrade our water and sewer and overflows. And it's not gonna be a temporary solution. It's gonna be a permanent solution. I can promise you that. As you go out and cast your vote, vote Taylor. I ask that you should help and support me for my dedication and results that you've seen so far. And this right here is just proof.
Thank you, Mayor Taylor. At this point, I would like to thank the candidates in attendance tonight who participated, and all of you as members of the audience for attending and participating. This was a very civil and fruitful discussion this evening. I would also like to remind the residents of White Pine to please vote on Tuesday, November 5th, or during early voting, which begins on Wednesday, October 16th. Thank you all for being here, and you're welcome to stick around for the Alderman Council Forum next.